Yo, pay attention and listen real closely how I break this slang shit down. Check it, my weed smoke is my lie. A key of coke is supply. When I'm lifted, I'm high. With new clothes on, I'm fly. Cars is whips and speakers is cakes. Money is chips, movies is flicks. Also cribs is homes, jacks is payphones. Cocaine is nose candy, cigarettes is bowls.
Welcome everyone to the Monday show. I'm going to do a quick sound check. Give me just a moment. All right, I can hear me. You can hear me. Let's go. Well, we got Zeb. Welcome. Well, let's go. We're here. So we got a few people here, kind of just showing up unannounced. I was going to take another few months of a break here, which I might be doing here, and we'll get into that. Gosh, there's been plenty of breaks here on this channel this year. And most of them have just been to kind of clear the air, let air clear. But with 7 people here, welcome everyone. I would appreciate a like. And now your likes are more important than ever because this channel got a strike. The main channel got a strike that I'll get into, and I consider it not very fair at all. And it's an old video that from over a year ago, a short. And welcome, Dave, the pickup artist. Always great having you. Please donate to the United Jimmy Barnes Pizza Foundation. Funds are getting low, guys. This is very important. Won't get into the details, but a man's got to eat. Anyway, so I want to talk about this community strike here I got. Now, back about a year ago, I was trying to revamp the whole main channel into just music, and I know a lot of people were coming here for parody and sort of the Monday shit show that was sort of going on to sort of like combat Rachel or whatever. And I was like at a point where I am exhausted from it. I've done what I can. Like, I reached a point by September, October of last year. I can't really do anything to the Rachel show that I haven't already done. And I was trying to check out. But at the same time, it's like I would make videos about just records or whatever. And they wouldn't get the attention like, the Monday shit show would get. So I'm always online with like, let me give you guys the content and material that you want. So that was the whole idea of, creating the graveyard, because I figured if you guys wanted that stuff, you would just go to the graveyard and sub there, and then I can have my music channel. Well, I don't know. You guys are kind of funny, most of you. Some of you get it, and if you get it, I'm not talking about you, but there are a lot of people who are like, no, I don't want to give you another sub on your new channel, and it's like I am listening to you guys. I am listening to YouTube and how YouTube reacts to my content. And that's another thing, because when YouTube puts me in the algorithm for the Monday shit show, and I'm suddenly getting 1K views or close to it for the Monday shit show, which was basically just, calling out bullshit from Rachel's show. And maybe giving people a voice who I didn't think had one. That was the whole purpose, the whole philosophy of the show. Well, when I tried to revamp, it was going to be like, I will convert this entirely into a hip hop channel. And let me zoom out here just for a brief moment. See this video. This is from the Pumping Vinyl TikTok. And this is Nostradamus, which was an actual project back in like the early 2000s. And this is like what that deal was. MF Doom sort of took his Special Herbs beats and put Nas acapellas over them, which Nas acapellas were lying around all over the place back in the early 2000s. Like, even as a record collector and as a DJ, getting all those Nas acapellas was fairly easy. Now I think it's a little bit harder. Like, if you wanted one online and wanted to download the MP3, that wouldn't be a problem. But like his 12 inches have kind of like become scarce here in the last 10 years. and they're not lying around like they used to. But anyway, this Nas and Allure, which I left a link in the description, and I'm dare not play this song, or it could get a strike for cyberbullying and harassment. This song. So we got a lot packed here. First off, you'll see Beavis and Butthead are watching this. We got Nas with the MF Doom mask on, and that was part of the project of, like, you know, I was trying to switch Pumping Vinyl. The first mission was switch this entirely to a hip hop channel, and I was going to try and build it up with these shorts, which, you know, and the shorts, you know, you have up to a minute to use as much copyrighted material as you want. Not all of them would get uploaded. Sometimes they're like, okay, we can't have that, or we can't push that. YouTube would tell me, you know, basically in their YouTube way. But they would push these, and I would get subs. I didn't get as many subs as I thought, or I wanted, or I expected. I honestly thought this little MF Doom mask project was going to boost me over 1,000. And at that point, I was going to be like, okay, done with the Rachel show. I got a new audience of hip hop people who want to come here for hip hop. But that's the troubling thing about YouTube and shorts. You can't really build your channel with shorts. You can, yes and no. You can get the people here, the middle-aged crowd who wants that fast food entertainment, and that's like the YouTube shorts. And YouTube started doing that because of TikTok, and then TikTok and Instagram. So, and actually, if I could even sort of like explain that a little better, TikTok blew up as like the you hold your phone in your hand. They invented doom scrolling is what I guess I'm trying to say. TikTok did. But with TikTok, it was more about your face, your dance. Maybe you're singing a song, you're with your friends, you're with your family, and you're doing stuff. So that's what TikTok will push you if you are doing funny stuff. Like I do doom scroll TikTok still. The new chick on there is Natalie Reynolds, who she's got like over 1 million followers or whatever, but I think she's a little entertaining, a little bit on the obnoxious side too. But that's what they're looking for. They want, you know, the cute chick or whatever. I used TikTok last year just to experiment with this stuff, and then to compare YouTube algorithm to TikTok algorithm, and just to even see, like, you know, how how each platform would treat me. And like, you know, YouTube, where I have a YouTube presence in a channel about music, how would they treat these shorts when I'm already established, versus TikTok, where I'm not established at all? And I will tell you, TikTok was pushing my music videos last year better than YouTube. And that's for shame, because I made a mention in one of my videos last year, like I wanted to get my first 1K short, and YouTube kept pulling me out. I could get as many as like 30 likes on a short, or close to 50, and they would pull me out at around 400 or 500 views. I would get a short close to 1,000 with 50 likes, and then they would pull it before it could get 2,000. So it's like, that was the whole thing with your short, or with any videos. If it gets 50 likes, it stays in the algorithm. And so that was like, you know, I'm trying to build this hip hop channel, let people know I got the hip hop stuff going on here, and let's get these new people from the YouTube, YouTube fast food algorithm onto this channel. And it worked, yes and no. I would get comments, new subs, but it's like, these people are not coming here to watch my hip hop live stream once a week. So kind of threw that out the window. And then, I was really trying to push the Graveyard last year, as like, it still seemed like that's why you guys were coming to this channel. And real quick, I want to just briefly talk about this, go back into share screen, and it's this song here, Head Over Heels, which the beat being used is kind of a remix of the Bridge by MC Shan, which, Nas is from Queens. So that would make sense. And the track was 1997, so you still have a young Nas. I've always loved this track because it's got that old school kind of feel to it when sort of like that old school sound was phasing out. And I think this is like 97 was the year. And this would have been like the year that I think Kanye West and Pharrell Williams were starting to come up on the scene. And they sort of had their own brand of like new hip hop that was different than this old school sound. So that's kind of the way, my mind sort of thinks of that as like, this was like a transition period where, the label was like, okay, we got this new sound. We got to say goodbye to the old school kind of thing. And in 96 was a huge year for the underground. And in my opinion, you had a lot of people who were standing in line in the hip hop world. They're like, it's my turn next. I'm the next one to get on. I'm going to be the next big feature or whatever. And with this new sound coming, it just left some of those older rappers with nothing to do. And 96 was a big year for the underground. And that's where you will find a lot of rare hip hop singles from the underground. And in my opinion, those were a lot of guys who were maybe going to get on, but were at the end of the line, and maybe they just had those. You will find a lot of rappers from that time that just had like those 2 12-inches, and they might even be worth a ton of dough. Anyways, always liked this song because it's still a young Nas, and it's like a super cheap 12-inch, like a $2 12-inch. But when I got a strike for this video, I went back and I listened to all the lyrics. And I'm trying to like think like, how did I get a cyberbullying and harassment strike for this video? When I listened to the lyrics, like you would have to really get out your Urban Dictionary to like really interpret what's going on here. So I guess I'll say like I've reported videos that I consider cyberbullying on me, and they get ignored, or like, I'll just get like the thanks for the report email, and then I'll get like no follow-up after that. But I see like this, I'm like, how can you hit me? This is going after nobody. It's got Beavis and Butthead in it, but they're not saying anything shitty. I don't know what's going on. I mean, and that's the thing is like I hit appeal, and within 10 minutes I got an email saying that my appeal has been denied, and they hit me with a strike, and I was not allowed to upload for a full week. Now I've had strikes on this channel, but it's never been anything that like caused me I can't go a week without uploading. So I find it very strange how this particular video I was punished for. And also, this isn't even the only one. I had a second version of this, and then I also opened with this on one of the live streams. So this video technically was on my channel 3 times. And with that said, they could technically pull the plug on this channel with those 3 videos. But they never explained to me why this is cyberbullying. I couldn't explain to them I was not going after anybody. The lyrics could be interpreted one way or the other, but then just like any cyberbullying report, that stuff can be interpreted one way or the other. And anyway, I do think that this was sort of an unfair sort of move on this channel. Now, at the time I got the strike, I had just finished uploading like 7 shorts. Like, I'm switching up and doing the AI thing right now, or kind of like how last year I was trying to build the channel with hip hop remixes that I had done. Now I'm trying to do the same thing with sort of AI projects, and I had a good 7 of them that I thought were brilliant, and I uploaded them to my channel as private. And I'm like, I'm going to set these free as I feel necessary. And I had a good 7 or 8 in there, and all of a sudden YouTube hits me with that strike. And so I'm wondering, did I upload too much? And now they're just using this sort of like, cyberbullying strike so that I can't upload. And that's kind of what I think, because YouTube won't tell you everything. I guess if they give me a copyright You can't upload that because of a copyright. We're just taking it down, because I've had that happen before, where like one of my shorts has a copyright, or earlier in the year I did the whole summer reggae thing, and one or two of those videos got taken down because of copyright. But I did not get a strike. I was not punished by the algorithm or anything like that. But maybe with this, when they strike the Nas video, they can punish me as far as uploading and the algorithm goes. So I think that was the message they were trying to send. Of course, you can't talk to real people at YouTube. When you're actually talking to them, to the help people, oftentimes you get caught up thinking that you're talking to a robot. Anyways, we do got some sort of meat and potatoes of this. I don't have my note sheet. I don't really do that anymore. Really, the note sheet was about having so many video clips that I was going through last year, and there were just so many clips that I just had to write notes just because it just helped. Anyway, Dave, we are also raising money to get Rob a new shoe shine box after his first shine box was destroyed in the LA riots. I thought maybe he had taken care of that by now, but tonight on Dancing with the Stars, they got Norman Maslow with his lovely dance partner Mellow D. I guess that'll be in competition with the Tomato Show, because I hear that Rachel will be on the Tomato Show later tonight. Sorry, I guess I didn't mean to plug that there, but yeah, I'm a little disappointed about that strike, guys. It was kind of like, I feel like YouTube sort of saw me on a roll there. I don't know. I'm trying to pick up on what they're saying to me. I mean, it's only passive aggressive communication at this point, but I guess I'll show you, like, there's a good, like, streak of 5 where I hit over 1K on 5 of these. And then I started thinking, well, let me try and, take these 5 that I did pretty good. Let me see if I can make some improvements. And that's kind of like what I spent, the last week doing, was making improvements on all this stuff. But then also, like I mentioned, like I uploaded like, 8 of these, and I thought were brilliant. And it's like, I want more than 400 views on these. I want more than 1K views on these. And I started looking around to other channels who sort of AI stuff. And some people got subs in over the millions, with views over like hundreds of thousands. And I look at their content, and I mean, yeah, it's good. Maybe they're a little better than me. I don't think I'm really that far behind them, though. And so I sort of used the last week to build up TikTok better, build up Instagram better, and see how, like, TikTok, for example, how they will treat you well if you upload something really good. Like couple, like the Taylor Swift memes, I will tell you, that's kind of like TikTok is the place for that. And those have hit pretty well, some of them. But the ones that have hit pretty well, I would like 20K views minimum. And I'm not kidding. Like these 2 right here. The Taylor Swift 1979, I think deserve, and I'm not kidding, 100K views. And so I guess maybe, I'm having fun doing the whole battling with Davey, and I will say my AI skills have improved since then. But it's like, I don't want to, this to me is like playing softball. I don't want to play softball with Davey Strange Name my whole life, It's like I'm ready for the next level. It's like I want to, and that's kind of what I was telling YouTube. It's like, I think I got some skill here. And, if I got to, rebrand the whole channel, I will do it, But the cyberbullying thing, I don't get it. I don't like it. It knocked the wind out of the sails on the channel. Gosh, and it even felt like YouTube knew what they were doing, Or it's like, I don't know. It's like you can follow all the rules. You can even break some of the rules and get away with it. But when YouTube wants to shut you up, they will do it. And they'll bend their rules however they want. Anyways, guys, I don't know what's going on with this project anymore. At the moment, um, I'm still trying to build up on the other platforms because I just feel like it just deserves better exposure, I suppose. But let's switch into something else here, like the video title says here. And I was going through my backstage, and I was looking at all the accounts hidden from my channel. Let's have some fun here, guys. If you're still with me, and I know I'm competing with like a very important Tokyo Brian video where I think he met with Harry's Music Room, and I don't know for you can sit through an ad and watch Tokyo Brian's video, and that's another thing I still very confused how how YouTube has pushed Tokyo Brian to the freaking moon, considerably for a puny little vinyl channel anyway. Or puny little vinyl community. But anyway, let's get into these hidden accounts, hidden channels. And I guess first we got Billiam's Belly Button Lint, followed by Mr. Cinemeo. We have someone here twice in a row who I am just going to make a point never to mention this person's name ever again. We got a fake pumping vinyl, which I do believe has been used by more than just Mark at this point. But let's, go down the list. Pumping vinyl with ones replacing the I's is Martin McGrath, which I know based on this is very similar to the deleted Pumping Ernest account, where he creates his hate account on me, but then suddenly he can't stop talking about Joe Mayo and Beetle Babe. So I mean, this dude will never not give himself away. Denise Klon fake account, run by Mark Lastman, followed by how many Denise Klon hate accounts does he need? Sherlock Hopeless, also Mark. We do have this is the real someone, and then Davey, yeah. You don't need to speak here ever again. Bend here over, which I think is Mark, but that was also a channel that sort of converted over. Most of these are Mark because last year Mark was heavily after me. This was before Spring Hill Jim and Martin McGrath ever really came to my channel and interacted at all. It was all Mark about a year ago, which unfortunately for you guys, all this hairy stuff you guys played on me to try to throw me off. You were kind of 6 months late to it. Anyway, Jeff's Last Words. I think this used to be a fake pumping vinyl account run by Mark Lastman, who I believe is still bothering Jeff. I don't really pay attention to it anymore. Here's another Mark, fake pumping vinyl. Jeff's Doctor. There's Mark again. Taxpayer funded fleshlight, Mark Lastman. This William Burton, this is my first and last legal name. This is a changeover, I believe. Chris Hill. I think that might be the real Chris Hill because Chris was coming to my channel a lot last year saying really hairy stuff. And I'm just like, I'm trying to be cool with you, Chris. And I just wasn't getting through to him. So we just put the hide button on him. Real Martin McGrath, fake pumping vinyl. And this is kind of where I start to get into, I believe McGrath and Spring Hill Jim at least did a fake pumping vinyl within the last, this year. And then someone also had at least one. Elliot Mintz, don't know who that is. The real Michael Ricefields won't be speaking here anymore. Louis Golden Shower, that is Mark Lastman. We got Dumping Vinyl here, who is someone. Breege, in case you guys need to know, this is Spring Hill Jim and or Martin McGrath. Fake Mazzy, don't know who that is. Stunty, maybe. Another fake pumping vinyl. Dusty Skins. I believe that's Mark Lastman because Dusty's channel was like the only place where Vag could go last year. for a time, and I mean, I wasn't really paying attention because when Dusty would stream, I would just I'm too tired and I got to go to bed. And Mark is like, I don't know if he's on amphetamines or what, but Mark would be up until like 5 a.m. hanging out in that chat room, or evidence of it anyway. But I don't know. I sort of thought that this was like maybe Mark got mad at him one time, because that's what Mark Glassman will do. It's like if he gets mad at you, you will see a parody account on you, even if you're a nobody. So Vinyl Cretin, Mark Glassman. I am Ricefields Records, an account you've hidden. That's Michael Ricefields. And the reason why Michael had to go, it's you heard him on that Rice Baby episode where he admits to only being in the vinyl community to manipulate situations. And when I just started seeing him coming here, and I've had enough conversations, and I know when this guy tries to manipulate, and I just saw what you were doing here. So we don't need that here. And I know that someone is whispering in your ear before you heading on over to my channel. Jimmy Barnes, and that's only because it's just like, you don't need to tell the same joke over and over again, dude. And I don't know, I guess Richard James kind of does that, but it's for some reason it's a little bit funny when he does it. But Jimmy Barnes, who can't get over the fact that I called him a butt kisser, like a year and a half ago, and that's when he practically betrayed the UKVC himself, got called a butt kisser by several people, but I was the guy that Jimmy Barnes decided to take his anger out on. So, and he's still doing it, man. Spring Hill Jim, he might have a few. Billy Spleen, I think this dude is completely hidden from the VC at this point. Stunty, I did not mind coming up here, and I did not mind his troll comments or whatever, but kind of what he did with gaslights and hand grenades, Jeff, earlier this summer, that was not cool at all, Stunty. With Jeff on his phone trying to send you an Instagram message so that you can come up there and gaslight me. Pretty shitty thing to do. Uncle Mike's Rice, probably Mark Glassman or Jimmy Barnes. Pumping Vinyl Fan Club is Mark Glassman. They had tried to maybe frame this as Invisible Ray, but did a really stupid, terrible job. Anyway, it's a page full of unlistenable AI songs that just basically talk about how butthurt Mark Glassman is from getting kicked out of the Jazz Bums. Speaking of Mark Glassman, Windowless Van Man, who is now making fun of Dave the Pickup Artist. I got to tell you guys, the Nambulance troll account was the original, and that's actually, there's actual truth to that one, unlike the Dave account that Mark's made up. Sideways for Days, which just makes fun of the one live stream where my orientation wouldn't correct itself. And, and it kind of just goes to the point, you guys are always looking for something. Ricey, this is a Michael Ricefield's parody account. Funny how we have him and his parody accounts hidden on this channel. I am Pink Floyd. There's Mark Glassman with his George Floyd account. Same with his Gaslights and Hand Jobs, which is funny. I made that name up, and then he changed a fake Pumping Vinyl over to that account. Someone here, how many someone fakes are in here? Fragile Friend is Mark Glassman, because that's back when Spring Hill Jim was my buddy, and Spring Hill Jim was very supportive of the work I had done to expose Mark, which, let me mention, Mark, not one but two channels feature both mine and Davey Strange Name channel expose you as being not a very great person, let me just say. But I mean, two fragile friends were created. And thing I want to mention about that, earlier in the summer, there was this whole Vag reached out, hey, does anyone know how to contact Spring Hill Jim on Discord, yada yada yada. Anyway, it went from this really stupid obvious baton switched from Vag to Mark Lastman. And when I asked Spring Hill Jim, so how did that conversation go, and Jim's exact response was, when Vag invited me to the Discord conversation, Mark Lastman was inviting me to the Discord conversation. So apparently nothing much came out of it. Dobbs is hidden, unfortunately. I don't know, man. I sort of created this channel and show for people like him, and trolls where we can just sort of have fun. And I don't know. That's the disappointing one, because I mean I was sort of like going back and forth and texting him. I thought Fred was like my true friend, or like I don't need to be your best friend. We don't have to listen to the exact same music taste. I guess if you're into Confederate flag records, good for you. Anyways, Jen B asides, yeah. I mean, she just was coming to the channel and not offering anything. I think there's two Chris Hills here. One of them actually could be a fake. A Concert Buddy, which same with him, didn't have much of a problem with his stupid messages, but not like he has much to contribute in a chat room anyway. And we got Sharon Peters. This is actually this is an account that was popping up in Joe Mayo for the longest time. And then when I had it was after Rachel's hoax too, Sharon Peters comes to my channel, and that was like, I thought Sharon Peters was Martin McGrath trying to hit on Joe Mayo. And this is back when Spring Hill Jim was my buddy, and I sent Spring Hill Jim a message, and I said, this is exactly what I said to Jim. I said, Sharon Peters is either Mark Lastman or it's Martin McGrath. And Spring Hill Jim, who you can't tell between Jim and McGrath who's who, confirmed with me it's definitely not McGrath. And then Jim started trolling him. Not me. Jim started trolling him. And we haven't seen Sharon Peters ever since she was exposed. But anyways, guys, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you here. And, I know a lot of people sort of accuse me of being all those. Well, I will tell you right now, I don't troll myself and then hide myself. That seems like a pretty... Anyways, the reason why I showed you that is because I got that strike for that cyberbullying on that Nas video, which I don't like, but I wanted to show you what the amount of bullying that I've received on this channel. And I mean, it is what it is. I'm a 6'4" tall white guy. I'm supposed to handle bullying, right? And guys, that's like why I started this channel, was for, the loudmouths and the blowhards in the vinyl community who are getting stamped out and hidden from other people's channels. And I wanted to be the guy who was not like Rachel and like, no, you can't speak here. Like I still haven't hidden Richard James from this channel. But I don't sit here, I don't consider any of Richard James' comments to be cyberbullying against me. I don't consider any type of lighthearted trolling to be cyberbullying. I don't consider any Fred Dobbs, this is just my opinion, comments to be cyberbullying. And I also don't consider that Nas video to be cyberbullying. But when that video got reported or taken down, or I see, that's the thing. YouTube didn't tell me that anybody reported that. YouTube sort of like just went into one of my videos and said, zap. So the sort of message I thought they were trying to convey to me was, we're just going after one of your videos, regardless. And I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. Upload overload is my biggest guess, and they wanted me to stop uploading. But the unfortunate thing of that is it's kicked me out of the algorithm. And like in this live stream, even I think would be lucky to get 100 views, you know. And the other thing, I guess, this is just going to end up being a big rant on the algorithm because I tried to revamp this channel. You know, I'm done fucking around with Rachel's Ghost. And it was even at a point last October, November, or even at Rachel's channel, where I would still kind of watch and not really participate at the end of last year. But they were some of them were even saying, we haven't heard from William. Where's William or whatever? And then people would sort of like try to poke at me. And I'm just like sitting here. I'm still trying to run the channel the way I wanted it to be when I originally started it, and just trying to get it back on track. So I opened up the graveyard for people who still wanted that material. And then I landed that storage unit. I had to make it seem like that, like I just landed a storage unit, because guys, I wasn't ready to start talking about my father. And that, it's just shocking to me how people have treated me over that, you know. And I think more than anything, it's less the death of my father and more I've acquired a shitload of great records. That's what that's what some of you guys don't like. I think, truthfully, most of you would be sympathetic. And all of you really should be sympathetic. But there's maybe just someone out there who had such a huge problem with it that he had to be a vinyl community crybaby for 8 months out of this year. And that's actually, I can't show you guys Rockabilly and Northern Soul at this point in time yet. And you know, it's funny because lots of you guys are saying, oh, William chose shitty records. I'm leaving the Pumping Vinyl channel because William chose shitty records. And that's actually the thing, is like, I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to give you my bread and butter if you guys aren't respecting it, if the YouTube algorithm doesn't even respect it. And this is what I mean is, it was that Rachel's Ghost Patreon episode, the one that got pulled, and it eventually got the graveyard shut down. YouTube pushed that video to the moon. That video got 400 views on the main channel while it aired, and then got another close to 900 views on the graveyard. So there's a 1.4K view video. 1.3 between two channels. But my storage unit video, which you guys have seen Noble Records do those enough. Hey, I just acquired, this storage unit, or we just got a big ass U-Haul of records or whatever. And I get it, it's Noble Records. And he's got his subs, and he gets automatic algorithm treatment. But I'm very disappointed because YouTube here recently has sent me emails like, you gotta follow community guidelines a lot better, and lots of vague language, lots of vague interpretations of this whole thing. And I was sitting here thinking, like, that's what the whole hip hop thing was about. I'm trying to put these shorts out and then also throw a few hip hop videos out there for people to know that, yeah, no, this channel is sort of taking a new mission. But YouTube never gave me that. While they're sitting here in an email telling me it's important that I get on track with community guidelines a lot better, they flat out ignore when I try to talk about records, when I try to talk about music. And I mentioned last week, there's a guy in Omaha started a channel. Not going to mention his name yet or ever. And I don't really want to get too personal with this guy. But like I mentioned, a lot of his videos are very similar to what I'm doing. He's going out and looking for space age jazz records at the estate sale. And he's even showing video footage of him there, like I'd mentioned last week, showing shittier records and I wouldn't even show you guys. But he's got his 4K video, 4K view video, his 9K view video, and within a month's time, he hit 400 subs. And it just took me forever to get there. And I've done this every day. Look at what you guys are liking, what content you're commenting on the most. And when I see that you guys like the Monday Shit Show better than me showing records, it's just me trying to give you the content that you want. I mean, Rob does it, right? Rob gives you the Tuesday and the Thursday Shit Show, where he barely talks about records, or very uninspiring is how I would describe his music talk. Which, let me, on a side note, I think I did screenshot this. I mean, that whole thing that I just said, yeah, in a photo that he took himself, man. I mean, dude, for real, this is in the Acid archives. I don't know if Rob really has this. This is the second time he's posted a video like this. What had happened, I think Dylan Noble Records acquired this, then met with Rob in LA, and now Rob is, this is an AI photo, and the all right. I froze up majorly there. Sure, that looked awkward. Honestly, I thought YouTube was pulling my channel when that happened, which you just never know. But no, I mean, here he is. I don't know that he's talked about that Blood Moon record one time on his channel. We don't know his opinion on it or anything. Yet he's felt it necessary. Here's the thing, guys. I never posted a short of me holding up my rarest records. Ha ha, look at me. I'm the gatekeeper. I mean, I don't know, man. But on that note, I want to tie that into cyberbullying. And Rob's channel, which in my opinion, there is no content on Rob's channel. Rob still hasn't hit 3,000 subs. And it's just the amount of exposure that he gets, the amount of, as much as people talk about him, and as much, like here he is saying with a king's crown on his head, saying that he's the gatekeeper. And how did he get to that point? I mean, we had to put up with Rob. I've said this enough times. Rants on the 10 people he hates before he talks about anything. To me, there's cyberbullying. And, truthfully, I don't really need to go much into Rachel's channel last year, which was a total cyberbullying psyop, if you ask me. When you got three people, coming down on the people that they feel are threatening to them. So, which is, I feel like that's Mazzy's whole purpose on a live stream, to make sure that he's still going to be around 40K subs and still going to be the king of the VC or something like that. But this whole channel, the whole idea of the Monday show was to be the anti-bully. I think a lot of people got confused, in that, to be the anti-bully. Anyways, guys, here 45 minutes into the episode, I'm going to ask you guys to like the video. We got Nick Shepard, Omaha, or I guess maybe, sorry, I shouldn't give away your location. I've never met Nick Shepard though, but that Faction album and all the rare crap Noble pushes is garbage music. You know, I could at least voice my opinion. I do respect Noble Records and you know what he's done to push records, particularly the Farm LP, which I actually do have a copy of. I picked that record up because of Dylan, and I wanted to bring it as I was even growing my YouTube channel. I was bringing that to record shows to be like, here's this Farm record that was once an $800 record. And then Dylan put it out as like some colored variants, which sold out like immediately, it seemed like. And then they put out tons, they just pressed the shit out of it as a black vinyl that's like everywhere. And I think you shouldn't have a problem getting that Farm record for like $25. But I do want to comment on that because I don't think the Farm record is as great as Dylan Noble Records says it is. I think it's kind of one of those things like, you know, how, you know, the Denise Klon record is important to me. I think the Farm record is important to Dylan Noble Records. And I do think he has exploited it. And when I got it and I listened to it, I was disappointed. And to me, it just sounded like an underproduced ZZ Top album. And I get it. It's like if you're into that kind of stuff and you're like, oh no, that Farm record, I got to get my hands on it. That's one thing, but does that kind of stuff need to be in mass production? I don't think so. And same thing like with the Denise record, mass production, definitely not. And, you know, that was kind of the test was, you know, to talk about her a little bit and just see how you guys would react to it and just seeing how you guys have treated it. I mean, I guess my one thing that I will you know, that record's never going to get put out again, and I just have to make sure to it. But as far as Dylan goes, you know, and this is as far, I don't know. I sort of wanted to rant on the Acid Archives a little bit, which is a cool book and has a lot of like great records, unknown records. And I've been kind of quiet about this. And when I made my Denise video, I'm sorry, I am sort of like going off topic and ranting. And this is sort of going off of the Nick Shepard's comment here. You know, and the Denise record is in the Acid Archives. Well, I have about a dozen, maybe a little bit more of things in that book. And the stuff that I had that I didn't know was in the book as I was reading through it. I'm like, oh, I have that record. And some major label stuff even. I know that book was supposed to focus on independent releases, but there's some major label stuff in there as well, which I do have. But there's an Omaha record in there, and I'm not going to mention it, that I have. And I was getting ready to review it, and I was reading the Acid Archives blurb on it. And they actually have something written about this group and the album, whereas the Denise record, they call it an unlistenable gem and sort of, you know, do the one thing that everybody's doing to Denise, and that's let's take the time to shit on her. You know, it's like that's kind of that's kind of the sad thing to me is I don't know why people feel like that's just like the one thing you got to do, you know. I've tried to say, I mean, the Acid Archives at least understands that enough that it's a fascinating photo and a rare record. But the thing I was going to mention was the other Omaha record that I was about to review is not nearly as good as the Denise Klon record, any of her records. And and that was the reason kind of why I put a brakes. I was going to do Psychedelic Monday there, and I put the brakes on that. Now the reason why I put the brakes is Dom Seeking the Thread, who is on someone's channel right now, and I think it's the most backward thing in the VC. I'm not even the only one to say it. I think Patrick Peebethal said, "Oh, Dom's a good guy. Why is he up there on Mondays now, associating himself with this crowd?" I get it. Dom has an album he's trying to sell, and this is exposure for him or whatever. But the thing is I can tell the move that Dom Seeking the Thread is making right now, and actually even Dom's first appearance on his channel, he made a snide. This was days after I did my Denise video, and I was expecting Dom just to be like, "Oh, I have this thread, this playlist, so when someone uploads an Acid Archives, I just add it to the playlist." And I sent Dom a message like 2 weeks later saying, "Hey, I have an Acid Archives video. You might want to add it to the playlist." And I was just totally cool about it, and he ends up adding it. But on his first appearance on someone's channel, he decided to make a snide remark about Christian record covers. And it was just not, it's like, I guess if that's your personality type, Dom, you are fitting in with the right people, the passive aggressive crowd, And I mean, good for you, Dom. You have a great collection, great videos. You're passionate about your records, and you seem to stay out of the VC drama for the most part. I made the video private because I just considered like this association here. If Dom's going to disrespect my first Denise video, what's he going to do with the rest of my Acid Archive videos? And that's why I won't make any, is because I can clearly tell that this guy is not respecting me. In fact, I think Dom is disrespecting me very quietly. And that's okay. I mean, I don't bother this guy at all. But I thought the idea in like your video, Dom, you said that every record was going to be covered. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit back and wait for someone to cover the 12 records that I have. And honestly, Dom, I don't think anyone's going to do it. I don't know. At this point, the only two people making videos on your thread are you and Psychedelic. And I just don't get it. The whole notion of I'm a celebrity of my own record collection. I don't get down with that at all. If you want to be here, talk about your records, talk about your music, recommendations, find out who has what. That's cool. I don't consider any of you guys kings of anything. Certainly not Noble Records. Noble Records has been here long enough. And he's a nice, likable guy. There you go. But if you just because you got some records, even the rarest records, if you want my opinion, who's got the best record collection in the VC? It's Madam Sin. I think he's got better records than Mazzy, than Waxed, certainly Waxed. Better records than anyone, better records than someone. I think it's Madam Sin. And he's like sitting at like 1,000 subs, and he's a guy who's had his channel removed and had to start over again. But on that note, I think the people with the rarest records, with the best collections in the world, are not here on YouTube. They are not here flaunting their records. In fact, I think a lot of them watch these channels and watch people flaunting their records and being arrogant or whatever. And then also at the same time being stupid or being arrogant, like I have this rare record, but then saying something completely moronic about the record. And I don't know. I just feel like the real true record collectors are like, I don't need to have a YouTube channel. I sit back and laugh at you guys. That's the impression that I get. Anyways, I guess we'll talk about the algorithm a little bit more and why this channel will never hit it. I mean, as much as I've tried to grow, I think that I made great videos about records. The Denise Klon video I made, yeah, I'm related to her, but I challenge any of you out there to go find a record and discover it and actually discover it And from the Acid Archives, you can call this an unlistenable gem and leave the whole page blank with that photo. None of you took the time to try to discover that record. And I don't appreciate the disrespect from anyone surrounded by that, if there is any. And I just worked too hard here, man. But to sit here and see, you know, YouTube will put, I've watched some of these 4,000 view videos, 9,000 view videos, or I guess, let me rewind to the beginning of this channel where I did the Walmart video, and it was about, I did the Walmart video. And the reason why I made the video the way I did was I was watching VC channels and videos for the previous 2 years. At the time, pandemic time, I was watching a lot. And the videos that were getting recommended to me, a dude showing a Trans-Siberian Orchestra Christmas record from Walmart. And this is actually the video that inspired me to do that Walmart video. And then eventually that, rant from the car that I think maybe 400 people watched or got 400 views. But I'm sitting here watching a YouTube video, and this guy's like, I walked into Walmart one night, I found this Trans-Siberian Orchestra Christmas record, and his exact words are, I can't believe I found this record. I'm like, are you kidding me? YouTube is pushing this guy who can't find a Trans-Siberian Orchestra record at Walmart to a 4,000 view video. And I'm sitting here thinking, why? Because he said he doesn't like the flipper? That's the other thing he said in his video. I hate the flipper. It's like, I don't know, man. Does YouTube see that? Oh, you have the same exact opinion as Melinda Murphy? We're going to shoot you to the moon. And that's why I made my video. I wanted to be the one guy who has the opposite opinion, who's coming here with a different opinion, and then to tell that you guys all buy records from record flippers. Whether you want to put it in a negative connotation or not, you all buy records from record flippers. And that's all I was trying to say. And it's because it was video after video, recommendation after recommendation. And this is YouTube. This is what YouTube is trying to tell me. And you can't tell me that YouTube doesn't push and encourage cyberbullying on this platform. That is what YouTube does. Rachel's Ghost, perfect example. 150 people watch you, get the likes up. Let's get into the algorithm, right? But what are we pushing? Cyberbullying, right? Hatred, shit show. And what does YouTube do? Here's the algorithm. Same thing with Sarah Tomato. Shit show, hatred, embarrassment, push into the algorithm. Sub. What happened to Sarah recently with Crucible and Rob Noor? Cyberbullying, throw her under the bus. Unsub her 4,000 fucking times. YouTube encourages this stuff. You can't tell me otherwise. YouTube can sit here and send me an email saying that we expect better content from you on your platform, on your channel. But what do you guys push all around your community, all around YouTube? It's nothing but hatred. It's nothing but shit shows on this YouTube platform. And it's like, the funny thing is, like, when you go to report it, like I mentioned last week, Tokyo Brian got a paid channel. You want to watch Harry's music video today? You're going to have to sit through 2 ads first. Concert Buddy, same thing. But I want to mention this too in regard, I may as well, because we're talking about cyberbullying. It's been happening on Surface Noise every single episode. And there was even one episode, or 3 weeks in a row on Surface Noise, where Chance opens with gun violence, which is kind of something that Marius Stark got a strike for, putting gun violence into his little parodies. Well, Concert Buddy has used it 3 weeks in a row. This is maybe a month or so, where gun violence is kicking off Surface Noise. And in one of them, one of the scenes features the pizza man, the pizza delivery man. And if you guys want to sit here, YouTube will sit here and say, I reported that video with the pizza man. And YouTube's going to sit there and say, oh, that's a video from the music scene or from a movie scene. And, you know, it's copyrighted, but he has permission to use copyrighted material, yada, yada, yada. But then I could sit here and say, well, Chan's been making this pizza man joke on me for the last year. And now he's opening up his Surface Noise with the pizza man getting shot up. Or I don't really remember, but YouTube will look at my Nas video, Nostradamus, with Beavis and Butthead hanging out, and they'll say, you got a cyberbullying harassment charge for this. But when other people are doing it to me, you see what I'm saying, guys? YouTube is the ultimate hypocrite. And for them to sit here, send me an email, we expect better material from you, you follow community guidelines, etc. or whatnot. But then I see the content that they push. And then when they, you know, when I do make a video like that, they don't promote it. They don't algorithm it. But then it's like, you know, Rachel's Hoax 2. Talk about that one for a second. And the algorithm shit, because it was last year when I made that shift from the graveyard, from the main channel to start the graveyard. My VC parodies went from getting about 400 to 600 views on average to now it's like 100 or maybe 200. And then I'm like, okay, well, I still got a few people liking them and commenting on, but it's obvious that YouTube isn't pushing these into the algorithm like they used to. So, I mean, I don't know. You got lots of people uploading on a daily basis, and YouTube can't keep track of everything. Anyway, real quick, yeah, shout out to Tokyo Toilet Style and Concert Buttocks, who are both watching. Most have never watched. Yeah. You know, he has gotten his viewers up, but I think most of it is like, you know, Arnaldo, who works for BMG, is probably, you know, getting people to watch or whatever. I mean, I don't know. But I do think, and this is me repeating myself from last week's or a couple weeks ago's video, is I think YouTube is the ultimate hypocrite. YouTube is the ultimate bully. And I don't know. I mean, I just kind of feel like, you know, there are real people, you know, who sit back and watch, you know. I do think YouTube knows who I am. They certainly know who Rachel is. And I mean, yeah, if Rachel can make some sort of hard to interpret comment that immediately gets her channel pulled, you know that YouTube was watching her the whole time, watching Rachel the whole time, waiting to pull the plug. So they know who Rachel is, and I think they know who I am. And guys, I'm going to ask you one more time. I think this is the third time I've ever asked this, or this is the third time in this video I've asked this, but maybe the third time ever, not the third time. Let's get the likes up, guys. And the reason why, it's like, you know, YouTube has done this to my channel again. We're hitting you with an unfair strike, and we're not going to listen to you. But I could point all over the place, like I've done, Tokyo Brian, Concert Buddy, you guys push these people to the moon, and you listen to them first. Where I'm sitting here, I've been trying to grow. Last year, I mean, I was going for that 1K push a year ago. And it's like I'm still going for it. And it's just like when YouTube sees me about to do it, and like my video skills are improving and everything, it's like, oh no, we see what you're trying to do. No. You can't have views. You can't have likes. You can't have exposure. We give all that stuff to Sarah. No, Sarah's got a shit show. You can't have a shit show. I'm like, okay, fine. I won't do a shit show. Okay, here's 200 views for your video. YouTube is the ultimate hypocrite, the ultimate bully. And I don't know. I mean, YouTube is also looking for excuses to pull channels. I mean, I guess I'm waiting here. Or maybe YouTube's not watching me right now. Anyways, I'm going to get a little bit off topic here. And I am going to talk a little bit about AI. And guys, I don't know. I might just rant. I just might rant just out of frustration, right? But in the thumbnail today, I have featured an AI model. And I want to talk about that a little bit. First off, I want to talk about AGK, who neither of us are in each other's business or anything. But when I was sort of looking for cheesecake covers on Google, or looking for some ideas, or maybe looking for some records I might want, Google recommended, not YouTube, but Google recommended AGK's video on cheesecake. And I watched it. And his videos got close to 2,000 views. My video got just over 200 views. But I want to mention something. I don't think AGK is very educational in that video at all. I don't think he's very informative at all. He doesn't talk about the models on the cover. He doesn't give any information at all. And that is the exact opposite of my cheesecake video, where I tried to give you guys information about some of the models, some of their history. I even did that on, when I would talk about Top of the Pops. I mean, I'm not sitting here just throwing the LP cover into an AI generator and taking the first thing that spits out to me. I mean, I'm putting some thought into it, learning about these models. I showed you guys the model who dated George Harrison. So what I'm trying to say is, when I do my cheesecake videos, it ain't to show you guys a hot chick. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But it's also to talk about the history and the marketing of music and why we buy records. And oh, look what just came out. The new Taylor Swift, which has 14 alternate cheesecake record covers. But AGK's video, I didn't get anything out of it. He's like, oh, here's Julie London, Calendar Girl. Look how hot she is in this record, which, she looks good on that record. But I mean, I actually talked about Julie London and her music, and a lot of those budget, on the Design label, or Pickwick. I would notice a lot of repetition in songs, or now this orchestra is going under by a new name on this record. So, that was sort of the thing. It's like, to give more of like an educational view on it. But then the algorithm. And AGK is the guy who would invite like a stripper on his channel just to get you guys to watch. Hey guys, will you watch and sub my channel if I invite the stripper that I met at the club on Saturday? And she just sits there in the video doing nothing. Truthfully, adding about as much to the cheesecake conversation as AGK was himself. But that's just the thing that sort of disappoints me, is I made a way better cheesecake video than AGK. And then another thing, like, the Top of the Pops, man. I do a little bit more than just throw that thing into the AI generator. But, it's just disappointing to me. I don't know what it is that YouTube looks at my channel and says, no, we're not pushing your videos. Or it's like, oh, we already push AGK's cheesecake video. What is it you got to, YouTube telling me, like, what input do you think you have, is kind of how I sort of see that. Another thing is my D'Angelo video, sadly, sitting at 155 views last time I checked, which is very discouraging to me because there is a parody out there on me released this year that YouTube has pushed more than my D'Angelo video. I mean, and this person who made the parody on me doesn't talk about records, doesn't show records, doesn't try to make this community a positive place or anything like that. But what I was doing with the D'Angelo video, obviously, this is a real person who went and saw him perform, who's collected his 12 inches as a DJ over the years, who has original presses of his albums. And I came to you without doing any further research. It was the most genuine video I could have made about D'Angelo on the day of his passing. And YouTube just like, no. I had no strikes on this channel. The graveyard was still up. No strikes on the graveyard. So, I mean, you can't tell me, YouTube, oh, you got this strike, now we can't algorithm you. You guys have been treating me like that for over a year. So, I mean, that's kind of like why I could give a shit less about strikes. It's because, I'm going to say it again, YouTube is the ultimate hypocrite and the ultimate bully. And of course, they have these rules and guidelines, but they only apply to you when they're trying to get rid of you, when they're trying to shut you up. Otherwise, if you're making them money, if you got a shit show and you're bringing in people and it's making them money, they could give a shit less. They will throw those rules out the window. 15 people watching, couple people chatting. Shout out to Dave and Nick Shepard. Say hello. Say hello before I start the next rant. So, I'm just going to wait, and I'm going to wait. And the thing I was just going to say, I'm going to wait and do a live stream on that in a few months. I don't want to spoil it. So, anyways, no, I did get some records this week. But the thing I have to mention also is because the way YouTube has treated me this whole year, I'm actually on record showcase protest. And it's just unfortunate to me, like that storage unit video that I made last end of January last year, close to a year ago, had enough likes, had enough comments in the comments section, had enough VC buzz in the comments section, in my opinion. And YouTube's like, not even 300 views for you, dude. They're like, what are you trying to be, Noble Records or something? No, this is a real thing that happened to me, YouTube. This is a real life event, man, of me getting records. And it should be a feature on my channel. And it's sad to me because how many storage unit videos did I have to make? They ain't even going to push one of them. I even hashtag Beatles in it and showed you nothing but Beatles picture disc as sort of a cheap pop. And it's like, yeah, strikes don't fucking matter. YouTube was treating me like this before the strikes ever fucking happened. Anyways, guys, I don't know. I kind of don't want to end this stream. I sort of even want to go George Borden on this one. Just because what YouTube has kind of put me up with. Matter of fact, I don't know. 15 people watching, 2 people chatting. Is anyone daring enough to click this link and shoot the shit with your boy? You know, here, real quick. I'm going to take a bit of a break, maybe like a minute. I'll be right back, guys. Get you some tunes. I'll be right back.
Candy cigarettes is bowls on. A radio is a box. A razor blade is an ox. Fat diamonds is rocks and shapes is cocks. And if you got robbed, you got stuffed, you got shot, you got bucked. And if you got double crossed, you got fucked. The bank phone is your poke. A chokehold is a yoke. A kite is a note. A con is an okie doke. And if you got punched, that mean you got snuffed. So clean is to buff. A bull scare is a strong bluff. I know you like the way I'm freaking it. I talk with slang and I'ma never stop speaking it.
Speak with criminal slang.
That's just the way that I talk, yo.
Vocabulary spills, I'm ill. Speak with criminal slang.
That's just the way that I talk, yo.
Vocabulary spills, I'm ill.
Yo, a burglary is a joke. A wolf's a crook. More deep already explained the meaning of shook. If you put a felony, yo, pay attention and listen real closely how I break the slang today. Check it, my weed smoke is my lie. A key of coke is a pie. When I'm lifted, I'm high. With new clothes on, I'm fly. Cars is whips and speakers is cakes. Money is chips, movies is flicks. Also cribs is homes, jacks is payphones. Cocaine is nose candy, cigarettes is bowls. A radio is a box, a razor blade is an ox. Fat diamonds is rocks and shapes is cocks. And if you got robbed, you got stuffed, you got shot, you got bucked. And if you got double crossed, you got fucked. The bank phone is your poke. A chokehold is a yoke. A kite is a note. A con is an okie doke. And if you got punched, that mean you got snuffed. So clean is to buff. A bull scare is a strong bluff. I know you like the way I'm freaking it. I talk with slang and I'ma never stop speaking it.
Speak with criminal slang.
That's just the way that I talk, yo.
Vocabulary spills, I'm ill. Speak with criminal slang.
That's just the way that I talk, yo.
Vocabulary spills, I'm ill.
Yo, a burglary is a joke. A wolf's a crook. More deep already explained the meaning of shook. If you put a felony. Yo, pay attention and listen real closely how I break the slang today. Check it, my weed smoke is my lie. A key of coke is a pie. When I'm lifted, I'm high. With new clothes on, I'm fly. Cars is whips and speakers is cakes. Money is chips, movies is flicks. Also cribs is homes, jacks is payphones. Cocaine is nose candy, cigarettes is bowls. A radio is a box, a razor blade is an ox. Fat diamonds is rocks and shapes is cocks.
Well, everyone's still here. I just went up and used the restroom here. I don't see anyone in the backstage. It's all right. Anyway, I guess I'll catch up here. We'll go ahead and just read all the comments. That's the one thing I've been terrible at with you guys is being a good comment jockey. Anyway, Zeb, let's go. I de-wrenched you, Zeb. I couldn't trust you to stamp out the trolls good enough. I kind of figured, what's the purpose of Zeb even having a wrench? You want one so bad everywhere you go. Anyways, please donate. Yeah, keep that in mind. I think I read those already. Okay, I guess Tokyo's doing it toilet style, as always. Shout out to Benefit Barnes. I guess I mentioned he's already hidden from the channel. I guess if I mentioned your name and you're hidden from the channel, you want to have a voice, stream our links right here. Or not. No problem. Don't need a wrench. I doubt someone here would even bother to time me out. I mean, my wrenches are like Dave, the pickup artist, Arnie Zanzibar, and the Six Beetle. And I only really gave them wrenches because they get hidden from every channel in the VC. And I consider them my friends too. But like they don't stamp trolls out because they're trolls themselves. It's like it's sort of like being a hypocrite if you're a troll and you stamp out someone else's troll comment. I think maybe a couple times they did, when someone was really kind of getting on my nerves or whatever. But I mean, that's what did I say about this channel anyway? Is like, if you have something to say, I'm not going to be like, Norman and Mazzy and or Waxed and Rachel and be, oh, boo-hoo, crybaby, you said something mean to me. We have to spend the next week talking shit about you to make ourselves feel better about ourselves. Anyway, I guess, did you guys see Beetle Babe on the Rachel show yesterday? We got the fake Richard Dolan, who's popped into the backstage with a Norman Maslov authenticated with YouTube. Sorry, Mazzy, as the fake Richard Dolan, you are banned. All right, just got the 4 new Resident 7-inches. They are all super limited editions from Psychophon Records. One of them was in a box, and it was even had a fake dog bone. If you want to come up and show us, Zeb, by all means, you can jump up here and you'll let him up. How about you come up and show us your Residents 7 inches? So would love to see it, Zeb. I don't know, Zeb, and actually, since I'm on Vinyl Record Showcase protest right now, maybe you can be the guy to show us some records. Would love to see it. I'm too shy, bro. Okay, fair enough. Anyways, I guess I just kind of thought, you know, I wasn't shocked when I saw Beetle Babe go up on Rachel's Ghost yesterday. I thought that was a move that was waiting to happen, you know. Talk about the biggest bandwagon jumper I ever saw. When it's time to shit on someone, she'll jump all over you. It's like, I don't know, she's a very momentum shift kind of person. You know, when the moment, like I guess I can speak from experience, like when momentum started to shift away from my channel, she just jumped all over it. And I've left open the Saturday night live stream, one of them anyway. She jumped up a couple times, totally got along with me. I could even make like a probably an hour-long compilation of her appearances where we were totally getting along. I still am confused. The thing is easy to manipulate. Yeah, there we go. Shout out to Arnie. What's going on? Beetle Slave. Yeah, exactly. Beetle Bay Watch. I mean, you know, she's here for attention only, nothing to offer. I mean, you even see Paul Cycle Platters. Thanks a lot, Paul, for treating me like a guest on your channel. Oh, but no, Beetle Babe herself has come to your channel in the chat room and has shit on you directly, Paul, for the decisions you've made on your channel. But you want to treat me like a bad guy. You will even let Melody, who has a questionable history, I have nothing like that on my record. But even you, Paul, want to play the game of William is the bad guy. And even one day yourself said, you started this. No, I didn't. Someone started faking me in your account, and you're another one of those guys who didn't take the time to verify if it was a real me or not. But there's no irony in that you call your channel the Island of Misfit Toys. Because what are you supposed to do, you know? You're supposed to support the fake pumping vinyl, Paul. I don't know. I would say, I don't know, if after Rachel left, it did kind of seem like maybe people were watching Paul's channel. I would even say Paul is like the perfect replacement for Rachel. Just a shit show going in no direction. And I guess the only reason I say that to you, Paul, is when you started live streaming, before you started inviting guests up on your channel, first off, I was your first guest. Was always cool with you, Paul. And you played the exact same cards on me as Rachel. Which is why I think you'd be the perfect replacement. We got more viewers here. Does anyone want to click the StreamYard link? Yeah, and yeah, you know, I mean, all she's got is lipstick videos. She's got a monetized channel. I think the idea is if any one of these reviews that she does hits algorithm, she can rake in a ton of cash or considerably a ton of cash. You know, I don't know. It kind of goes to what I was saying about YouTube will push you if you make them money. You can be a total bully. You can be boring as fuck. I'm gonna get some more coffee. We got 18 people while I'm gone. I expect at least 5 more people to show up. I'll be right back. No music this time though, so all right, I'm back. I got my coffee. All right, let's see. No one's in the backstage. Well, very unfortunate. Can we get Vinyl Richie up here? I feel like Vinyl Richie was a guy who liked to come up here and say hi. What happened to that, Vinyl Richie? Maybe he's not watching. Anyway, congratulations to the Dodgers. That was very I didn't watch the World Series, honestly. After Seattle got booted, I just lost interest. That's kind of the thing with me in sports these days is God, I'm like barely interested anyway. I don't know, I just sat through enough baseball games in my life that it's like, what's another baseball game, right? I guess I want to mention, when I was living in Seattle, I actually attended a no-hitter. And I even have the t-shirt to prove it. But what was the dude's name? It was a Japanese guy. Hisashi Iwakuma. Right? Does that ring a bell? Maybe we got Dana Kimbowitz here who could correct me on that, but I think that's what his name was. And I was at this game. And I mean, talk about being at enough baseball games. I'm just like, at this point, I get a general ticket. I like walking around the main concourse and I like taking different views of the game because, at a baseball game anymore, I cannot sit and watch a baseball game in the same spot. So out in Seattle, and I wouldn't take the time to sometimes I'd go with buddies. Other times, I'd be getting off work and there's a game on that night and I could just stop. I wouldn't stop at home. I'd just stop at the stadium and watch the game and then I'd go home. So, I mean, that's kind of the funny thing about, baseball being so many games and you being a baseball fan. It was spoiled baseball, just to say the least, but I was at this no-hitter, and the game is boring. There's barely any runs. I think Seattle had like a 2-0 lead, and the game is boring. But then it's like the 6th inning, and I look up at the scoreboard, and I'm like, wait a minute, the Orioles don't have any hits. It's the 6th inning, and we got a no-hitter going, and I start kind of whispering to people, and there is like that, I don't know if you guys have witnessed a no-hitter, been at a baseball game where there could be one, and people start to look at each other and you're like, shh, don't jinx it. That's kind of what was going on during the no-hitter. And I was saying to people, like, you guys see what's going on here? And they're like, yup. And, as the game kind of progressed, fans could not hide their excitement. And a boring baseball game that had a 2-0 score ended up being like, one of the most exciting moments that I've ever been at a game. And, for as many baseball games that I've been to, what are the odds that you would buy a ticket to a no-hitter? And there's been actually a couple perfect games in Seattle. One was thrown by Chicago White Sox, Mark Burley, I want to say, which was a long ass time ago. And then Felix Hernandez also threw one before I moved out to Seattle. But no, I mean, it was cool, witnessing a no-hitter. And I don't know how often those happen anymore, but I will say hitting a 90-mile-an-hour baseball is not an easy thing to do anyway. But getting through a whole game like that, pretty crazy stuff anyway. Without Loki, the girls are brokey. Yeah, so gosh, I'd hate to be. I'm really glad I'm not a part of that whole Patreon group. I mean, that is if you want to get back into the algorithm on YouTube, just create a cult. That's all you got to do. You just got to be like Rachel and create a cult and recruit people like Ivan the Music Man to be in your cult. And, I mean, maybe even like, I think maybe Vinyl Piper's in the cult. Actually, you know what? I was even going to say, he has a very cult-like personality. The cult of personality. Anyways. Baseball is like cricket, long and boring, zero excitement, rugby league all the way. Funny thing about that, Arnie, though, because you sent me the link to that, those hot hits, and a lot of those hot hits record covers are playing croquet. And that would be a cool thing to make a video out of. But I don't know that the algorithm, I don't know that that Grok is that smart yet. But yeah, I mean, I'll have to teach it croquet. But good segue here. While I'm waiting for guests, I guess maybe I don't know if the StreamYard links scroll up too much, but for Vinyl Richie, there's their link for you if you want to join. But while we're waiting, let me go ahead, and we were just looking at everyone hidden from the channel, but why don't we have some fun in Grok? So you know what? Actually, I was gonna, since I'm going 24 hours like George Borden today, why don't we have some fun in Grok? And I'd mentioned to you guys that I was trying to create like my own Top of the Pops record cover, but I was trying to AI generate it entirely. And so that is not take it from the website, but sort of make my own spin-off. And I figured, why not do this together in Grok? And so when I first started this, I tried to do this. Like, I want to see if Grok or Meta AI will actually make me a Top of the Pops cover very similarly to what it would have looked like in the 1970s. And they kept kind of getting it wrong at first. They kept putting like psychedelic hippie stuff in there, which I think gets associated with the 70s, but I think that's actually more psychedelic 60s, late 60s, and I'm sure those fashions blended into the 70s. But I want to mention about those Top of the Pops covers. When I was trying to AI generate it, like those were all put out in the 1970s, like early 70s even. And you'll notice like none of those women on those covers have anything to do with like psychedelic tie-dyes or paisleys in different colors, or just like the hairstyles have nothing to do with being hippies. In my opinion, I think those Top of the Pops covers have more to do with 1980s fashions. And so funny, I think those covers sort of even push the envelope to like, what covers ended up looking like in the 80s. I think they were sort of ahead of its time. But anyways, as I was sort of trying to AI generate these, like I said, at first it started giving me like the hippie business. And I'm like, that's not those record covers. But anyway, let's go ahead and just start like basic. So let's just say we're going to tell Grok here, and you're going to have to excuse my keyboard clacking. But actually, that might make it more interesting and more interactive. Maybe you can help me make one. We'll make one together. But anyway, you really got to get like, you got to tell Grok how to make it. And the one thing I'll say, when I first started, I couldn't, like, Grok was like, okay, I kind of get what you're telling me to do, but it's not giving me what I want. But after maybe a couple weeks of doing these videos in Grok, making, I would tell, like, the prompts to say, make the girl touch the logo and have it like light up like a neon bar sign or something. And so after doing these prompts many times, I think Grok finally figured out, hey, I know what a Top of the Pops record cover is now. So I'm going to show you. I just this over the last few days, Grok and myself, when we were working together, I'll say, we got it nailed to a T. So anyway, we're going to just start out simple though. And we're going to tell Grok, create a retro Top of the Pops LP cover. Now notice how I put top in large letters, of the in small letters, and Pops in large letters. That's actually, in my opinion, how Grok got to know these. Well, let's just see. You do a square image, create a retro Top of the Pops LP cover. And this is the most simple, no direction, no nothing, no anything. So, it knows what, a retro, it's giving me some retro fonts, maybe similar. Here you got that Cooper font with the Mysterians, question mark in the Mysterians. I don't know, it does sort of give you, or the Electric Gypsies. It will give you some sort of it'll make up some bullshit band kind of thing. Another thing I want to mention about Grok is, and I want to actually tie in Arnie Zanzibar comment, which actually, maybe I could just even pull it up real quick. Davey has rubbernecked himself looking at Top of the Pops LP covers with very little movement. I want to actually elaborate on that comment a little bit, Arnie, because Grok is funny. Because Grok oftentimes will give me a message, like when I put these Top of the Pops covers, sometimes it'll give me like a content moderated, try something different. And a lot of times some of these models on the cover will have like a see-through shirt on, or maybe their shirt is unbuttoned. And like the next thing you would think that they would do is, or Grok might thinks the next thing they would do is open up their shirt. So I get a lot of those messages on here. But I also want to mention this is, like, if you have Grok right now, or actually, you know what, let's just do it right now. Let's type in a random name of anyone. So let's just say Rebecca Wilson, right? I don't know if I'm spelling Rebecca right. I think it's actually Rebecca. All right. If I just type in Rebecca Wilson, look at that fox. You know what I'm saying? How is it that when you type in just a random name of a woman, it gives you beauty? I didn't tell Grok to make a beautiful woman. I just said, make Rebecca Wilson. I don't know who Rebecca Wilson. How many Rebecca Wilsons are there in the fucking world? Tons of them. How many of them look gorgeous? I doubt tons of them. But why is it that when I put into Grok a random woman's name with a common last name, it assumes that I want beauty? But what if I said ugly Rebecca Wilson? I don't know. Some of those still look pretty good. I don't know. Does this chick look ugly to you? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Grok makes everything sexy. Grok makes everything attractive. And here's the thing that I kind of wanted to also touch up on this episode is AI right now is being used to fool you and fool everyone. And let me just mention about TikTok and the algorithm, because TikTok will recommend stuff to me based on stuff that I upload. So if I'm uploading all these AI generated covers, and maybe I am making jokes and memes out of them or whatever, but TikTok is now recommending AI content here. And one of the things that they're recommending is like women saying, and this is a funny one, like one of the other day was a Latina police officer. And she says, hey, any white men out there, drop a comment if you want to say, if you like the Latinas. And she's super hot. And I would look at the comment section. And in the comment section, you would see men. We'll get back to this. In the comment section, you would see men like praising this woman. And I'm like sitting here watching this video. This is clearly AI based on the mouth, the movements of the mouth, based on, you know, how the words are coming out of her mouth. Yeah, it looks like a real person, but if you can't tell what AI is at this point in time, I don't know what to tell you. And that's also part of my purpose of doing AI is I want to make jokes about it and be funny with it, but then also leave it to you guys. You guys will be able to tell, obviously, this isn't really, you know, the same person. This is someone, you know, manipulating a record cover with AI. And sadly, I think there's just enough people out there in the world who are too naive. And we'll leave a comment to the Latina police officer, you know, without any acknowledgement that this Latina police officer will never message you back, is nobody. However, in the event that they do talk to you, here's what's going on with AI chicks these days. Talk about AGK and Thunder. Well, I'll tell you that the girl in the thumbnail, I just sort of use as a joke today. I have no intentions of going around the internet hitting on other men under a Thunder-like character. I think that's not only silly, it's ridiculous, but the troubling thing with that, though, is, you know, AI women are taking over. And, you know, I followed social media over the before YouTube. And in fact, I was using social media to like sort of guide, like, what kind of YouTube channel do I even want to start in the first place? And that's why I was maybe even talking about Taylor Swift records early on. Because at the time I started my YouTube channel, Taylor Swift records were super popular. And I think, you know, has sort of calmed down a little bit. Anyways, hold on a second here. Hoditz has always had a sports theme. Yeah. That's kind of one thing I've noticed. Maslow was complaining about the lack of drag queens on Trump's administration. Yeah, it's funny because a lot of like what he says is he says things a lot with a lot of like misogynistic undertones. Anyways, AGK finds his models at the meth clinic. I was gonna say, I don't see girls like that, you know, going around, but he really got his teeth stuck. Oh man, that's a good one, Arnie. Anyway, so what I was saying is, like, the chick that you see in the thumbnail today, I was using that as a joke. And the funny thing is, I was trying to make these Top of the Pops LP covers, which we'll get back into in a second. But that girl in the thumbnail today popped up, like the same girl. Like I noticed I was trying to put her in to one of my retro LP covers. And then I just noticed, like, it kept popping up the same girl every time. So, same girl, same girl, same girl. So it's like, this is funny. This is what Google is doing for me. Hey, you want a girl to be a model for anything? We just made you one. And so, God, it's like, what I'm seeing around Instagram or TikTok now is a man can impersonate a woman who looks like that. Now, on the note of me doing Thunder projects, this is like the anti-Thunder. And I'm not using this chick to control anything. But I am coming here on the live stream to show you guys, we are, it looks like AI right now. And that looks like, I made that chick look like, a 1970s style retro babe. And not anything that looks modern. But I've gone around Instagram and I've seen a lot of stuff that looks modern. Okay, so I don't follow his channel, and I've never watched Thunder. If that's the case, we better get this comment off the screen. Bummer. Sorry to learn about that. Thanks for the information, Arnie. I feel like you're here for some vital information when sometimes I'm not even ready for it. But it is unfortunate that I think the internet is controlling women and beauty and our perception of beauty. And it was bad in the 80s and the 90s when you saw all that stuff pop up in advertising. But I think it's even worse than it's ever been. And now I'm going to make some bold predictions for the future in regards to AI. Because I think eventually AI, and it already has, AI pretty much has eliminated a lot of jobs. Also, when you go to apply for a job, a lot of companies, like a lot of major retailers are using AI to sift through job applications that they don't want to look at, If they're very specific, tell this AI system, yada, yada, yada. And if the application doesn't meet this minimum requirement, pass on it. Or if the personality said this, pass on it. So it's like, we are at a point already where you don't even have real humans. I think even a lot of people's HRs are probably run by AI anymore. A lot of people's hiring practices AI. Well, the troubling thing with that, guys, AI is not a real human. AI is artificial. AI doesn't have to pay bills. AI doesn't raise a family. AI doesn't put food in his face. Right? So I do think it's a little bit inhumane to allow AI to control everything. And yes, I'm going to say this, and I've been saying this to myself for years. But I do think that there needs to be some human rights sort of laws put into place in regards to AI. There needs to be constitutional rights so that real humans aren't being controlled and manipulated by AI. And it's funny, maybe right now that there are no laws or laws are limited, they're allowing things to happen. And what do we got right now? We got men on the internet who are falling into these, I'm calling them 6-second traps. And it's funny how I make my Grok parodies and they come out 6 seconds. Sometimes I'm clever enough to extend it to 12 to 18 seconds or something like that. But when you go and look at these videos, like on TikTok or on Instagram, they pop up. Pay close attention. Yes, they look like real people, but if they're doing 6-second dances, flashes onto the next frame, 6-second dance, flash onto the next frame. Oh, here's a manufactured fake picture of her with her mother. You can call bullshit very quickly, very easily here. And so what does this even really mean for real humans? I mean, AI is already changing our perception of beauty. Like when I type in Rebecca Wilson into the AI prompt and it gives me someone gorgeous, or even type ugly Rebecca Wilson and it still gives me something gorgeous. AI is being used to change your perception of beauty. Plain and simple. And it's like when I go out on a daily basis, like that girl in the thumbnail that I put in there this morning, like I just whipped that thing up an hour before I went live. I'm like, let me make, yeah, it's make my own pumping vinyl beach towel. It ain't that hard. but how easy it is to make something that looks real and then to get people to believe it. Or I think the thing is right now, Kobe Bryant memes. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, but this is the one thing that pops up on my TikTok very frequently, and that is Kobe Bryant memes. And I will say, at first they were pretty funny, and they get a lot of exposure, and I noticed lots of views, lots of likes. But I will mention, it's kind of the same joke every time. Or like, for example, they try to dress up as Kobe Bryant as this influencer who has a backpack with a bunch of cameras hanging around. He goes into like KFC and McDonald's and says, "Hey man, I'm ordering food for the homeless." And he says, "Okay, that'll be $400 or something like that." And he says, "But it's for the homeless." And then he gets the food for free and then says, "I can't believe them suckers actually gave this to me." They're kind of funny. But the thing is, Kobe Bryant's dead, allegedly. I don't know. Are there any Kobe Bryant conspiracy theorists out there? Anyone out there that said, is it weird that this dude died in a plane crash the day after LeBron James passed him in scoring? Anyways, I don't need to go into it, but you've been seeing Kobe Bryant memes, George Floyd memes, Stephen Hawking up to bat at a baseball game like he's... Someone made a meme of like Stephen Hawking striking out up to bat where he wasn't even holding a bat. So, I mean, memes can get pretty mean. And I think what the law is like laws don't protect non-living entities. So I guess George Floyd memes and Stephen Hawking memes fly. I guess in the UK and Europe, George Floyd memes are illegal. And I think that's actually why they became popular, like in the United States, is when you make something illegal somewhere else, you got someone on the other side of the globe who say, well, it's not illegal over here, and they fucking run with it. So I think that's kind of what's going on. I do think a lot of the, it's done in poor taste, but I don't know. But the Kobe Bryant stuff, I want to talk about that for a quick second, because it's like, how many people out there think that this is real and have seen this and are like, hey, I thought Kobe was dead. He's alive. And they're seeing like, you got Tupac and Mr. Rogers now. So, I want to say the good thing about that is if you're not an idiot and you know that like these guys are dead, you're going to look at this and view it as like a cartoon. But when you start to read the comment sections and you see how naive people truly are, all you got to do is make something look real anymore. And, I mean, how far away are we? Or even, have we already been fooled in the news? Have there been news stories or events that are entirely AI generated and that we don't know? I think there's a large likelihood that has happened already. Now, Grok, how I showed you, you can type about anything into Grok and it will give you what you want. But they're only allowing you to like 6 seconds. And in my opinion, it's like Grok and like, Meta AI is like, yeah, they're letting the public use it now. But how long has this stuff been in existence? And I think it's been a lot of this AI stuff has truthfully been in existence for maybe 2 decades. And I want to mention this is, in the week that I took off here recently, I sort of did reevaluate this whole AI stuff. I will say that, when YouTube knocks the wind out of your sails, it makes you not want to do anything. And I did sit there for a few days like, man, fuck this shit. Basically what I told myself. But I mean, I went back and AI songs. And I want to mention I wrote 5 AI songs during my break. How did I write them? One of them, I was trying to take a copyrighted song, but remix the lyrics and make my own version of it. Anyway, AI didn't get what I would see. That's the thing. AI never gets what song that you have in mind. You can tell it, but then AI will sort of take it and run with it their own way. And they'll give you two versions. A lot of them will give you a few different versions. But I was sitting here trying to make like my AI song, and a couple times I would AI generate the lyrics, which I will say this: AI generated lyrics, stupid as fuck. Really, really, really stupid. Like, it's like not kidding. Like, it's out late, the stars are shining, I miss you. Really simple shit kind of stuff. Like stuff you wouldn't even really hear on the radio. But that's what AI gives you. So, and I wrote my own Top of the Pop song, which I don't know if I want to use, because here's the thing. I don't want to load my page up with AI songs, because I think AI songs are bad. Every single one that I've ever heard is terrible. And I get it. I think a lot of people are making AI songs as kind of a joke, and that's okay. But I mean, let's back up a little bit here. When we've already had AI on vinyl with the Beatles, right? And I guess what better way to introduce AI to humans in music than to start in AI? Why would we reject anything else? And so we have this Beatles song in AI. But the point I want to make here is so AI back. But you guys, all right, these lags are just getting worse and worse every time. Sorry guys, but the YouTube punishing me with lags. Yeah, sorry, Zeb. Hopefully we're back on track here. But is RSD dead in 5 years? I mean, they've been out of ideas for a couple of years, and I mean, regardless of what titles they make and put out, there's always going to be leftover RSD shit. I think you're going to have that record store that ordered too much of this one thing, or like the Thin Lizzy thing, the Jailbreak reissue from one of the last record store days. I have still not picked it up, because when I go into Homer's, they still have 25 copies of it. So it's like, it's like I already made that video. It's like you can get RSD stuff for sometimes half the price when record stores are trying to liquidate it to pay off their credit cards from record store day. Which I will tell you that nothing fucks up your profit margins than dead weight new vinyl that's not selling. I can tell you that without having a record store. And I'm sorry, I don't know, these rants sort of go loose and kind of off topic a little bit, but AI and music, and just touching up on the record store day comment, but AI and music. Now, I've made 5. I think they all suck. And when you go to the Davey Strangename page, he's been making AI songs for over a year and a half. If you ask me, he's not writing his own lyrics. A lot of times he'll copy and paste some comments from the comment section, and that can be a little funny sometimes. But all of his songs are like nu metal, butt rock. And when I was making my AI songs, I was trying to be like, I don't want to make butt rock. I don't want to make nu metal with this shit. And I tried to make a fake Slayer song, which I got one that was okay, but the lyrics just don't. It's not like the lyrics you would hear in a Slayer record. And then I took those same lyrics and I tried to make, okay, the Slayer song turned out okay, but let me just see what AI says when I try to make it a butt rock song. or a new metal song. And that's the funny thing. I started to catch on. Technically, all the butt rock and all the new metal songs are the ones that sound the best. So if you ever go to the Davey Strange song, you hear something that sounds like a Evanescence ripoff or something, or a Nickelback rip, which I saw Zeb one time commented on one of Dave's videos. It sounds like a Nickelback ripoff. And so that kind of got me to thinking, like, why do all these Nickelback songs, these fake Nickelback songs, it's not that they sound good, it's that they sound very close to what it would sound like, to a Nickelback song or to an Evanescence song. Or you can tell like the vocalist is like computer generated, but why does it sing so much like the Evanescence lead singer? And that's when it got me leading to believe. I do think that AI has been used in music for 2 decades, and we just don't know about it. They're not telling us. They want to get comfortable with it and accept it before they be like, oh, yeah, we've been doing this the whole time. And I just think it's funny that when I go to make like these metal songs, they don't get making a Slayer metal song or a Megadeth thrash song. AI cannot do that yet. They can try to make it, but it will sound too much like any metalhead out there is listening to a Megadeth record or whatever. You know what Megadeth sounds like. So when AI tries to generate it, it's going to shit out something awful. But why then, when I went to go do the same song, the same, the song that I just say, make a fake Slayer song that would be on Seasons of the Abyss, for example. Song version number 2 is a butt rock song. I'm like, well, if I had to go with one or the other, I'd have to go with the butt rock song. Not saying that I'm into that stuff. But I mean, that's the thing that I wasn't about to do with this channel, is I ain't about to load it up with bullshit butt rock songs with stupid lyrics and copy and paste like, I don't know. I think if you're making music, you can't make AI music. I don't really think there's you can, but anybody who's anybody can take an AI song and make anything. It's the most easy thing these days to shit out. Now, as far as AI songs go, I've heard some creative stuff that sounds pretty good. Like something popped up on my recommendation feed one day that was Alice in Chains Wood, but it sounded like 70s soul cover. So like, maybe as though like a Temptation style, group was doing it. And I thought it sounded great, but I mean, also it's like, it's AI, it's not real people. And I don't know. I believe that Google, YouTube, and the powers that be not only want us to get comfortable with AI, but also want us to accept AI. I think a lot of people are just, are so naive and susceptible to it that they just kind of go along with it. And I guess looking at these, for example, AI generated Instagram models that are controlled and made by men, right? Well, some of you guys out there, maybe not everybody, but when you go and talk to a real woman in real life, it ain't always the easiest thing, right? You see a girl that, you like, you want to go up and talk to her, maybe get her number, right? You don't know who she is, though. You don't know if she's going to give you her number or not. You got to, make her laugh and be, fun and inviting and warming to the person before you do get the number. Well, AI is not that. When AI is controlled by another man, a man knows what another man wants. And that is a perfect 10 out of 10, or some of these Grok models to me are looking like a 12 out of 10, a 13 out of 10. And what I'm saying here, guys, is very important. Because when you have women, AI generated women that are more beautiful than any woman that you go out and see on a regular everyday basis, that woman is being controlled by the internet to make movements and talk, has its own voice even, or is even in the car saying, any white men want to date a Latina cop. And there are people out there who maybe they're not getting the attention that they want from women, but they will get the attention from an AI model. And funny how Instagram, back up a little bit, talk about Instagram, because when Instagram first started, yes, it was, Facebook started Instagram. You couldn't post anything like, modeling pics was not a thing on Instagram at first. They were very strict. If you were like a pornographic actress, you could not have an Instagram account. And this is like when they first start getting it going. Then I think the thing with like OnlyFans models started using it to promote their content. Some of them were getting their accounts terminated because they were violating, terms of the platform. Well, the flip side of that coin is those sort of models drew more people to the platform. And so eventually Instagram was sort of forced to submit to the whole OnlyFans trend. So for a couple of years there, you had OnlyFans dominating Instagram. I mean, you did. And now with AI, here recently, it's like you're starting to see, or like there was one in particular, an Asian girl who was like out of this world hot, and she looked real. And that's when it was this Asian girl I started looking at. I'm like, this girl looks real. And sometimes I will, like, you can click on the OnlyFans link just to see what they're charging. And I'll do that. I've never signed up for, one of their accounts or anything like that. But this girl looks real, and she's charging a lot for her Instagram. But when I start to like really look at her videos, I'm like, I don't think this person is real at all, truthfully. She tries to make herself out to be a nurse and who wears very tight nursing scrubs, very revealing nursing scrubs. And I worked in a hospital. And this one chick has, photos of her working in the hospital, but there's no like people in there. And whenever was I working at the hospital in the few years that I was working there was never a girl like that. You would sometimes have an attractive girl wearing nursing scrubs, but it was never revealing. It was never extra tight. I got my nursing scrubs showing. They would tell that woman to go home and get a new outfit. And so that's what I'm trying to say. That's why this is important. Is because AI is being used right now to change our perception of reality. And essentially, it's like attractive women are very, influential. It's hard to say no to an attractive woman. Perfect example. I worked in the insurance industry for a little while, and some of our best sales reps were super attractive, very beautiful women. There was even one woman in our office, had her own office within the building, barely came into the office 2 days a week, millionaire, barely worked, drop dead gorgeous. And you get a girl like this going around trying to sell life insurance policies, it's hard to say no to this chick. All right. So that's why insurance industry, the most successful people that I ever met, super attractive. And when you're sitting here on the internet and you get a message, or someone pops up on your news feed, you into Latina police officer. The really naive, lonely people are going to be like, yeah, I am. Yeah, here's $40,000 because you told me your sad story. And it's just unfortunate. There are people like it's the Finkles of the world. Hey, Sarah, you need $1,000 to pay for groceries this month? Here you go. Anyways, guys, I have always sort of treated this channel as like I want to come forth to you as a real person with real opinions. And I've always tried to pitch myself as someone you can't put me on puppet strings. And so that's the reason why I say this is now we will all be met with people, fake people, AI generated people who will be telling us what to do, how to do things. And we might be more susceptible to listen to them based on their attractiveness. And honestly, guys, I probably could and should make a whole more comprehensive video about that, but not like the YouTube algorithm push it or anything. But anyways, guys, I've been here for a couple hours. I got to go to the bank and the post office today, but it's Monday, and I, figured, want to let you guys know what's going on with this channel. We might be at a 200 view threshold going forward. I could post a brilliant Top of the Pops parody short, and 14 people view it, and whatever, man. I don't care about YouTube anymore, and I think it's it's a lot of a lot of hypocrisy. When I get it, it's their platform. They can put on whoever they want, or people can come and support whoever they want. I will say, as I have taken a look on this platform over the last 5 years, especially, well, we got this fellow here, and we got a guy. He kicked himself from the studio real quick. It wasn't even a real picture, or it was if that were the real Mark, he wouldn't have put a disfigured photo of himself in there, I would assume. But anyway, no, Arnie Zanzibar, I believe you used to troll Fresh and Fit. Or I know that there's like an Ode to Arnie Zanzibar video that features one of your comments is trolling Fresh and Fit. And Fresh and Fit, man, there you go, man. Okay, first off, Fresh and Fit were the two guys, total posers. One of them would drive around in a Ferrari, and then they both drove around in sports cars that they couldn't afford, but they did it all for image. And if you watch their show, it was nothing but misogyny on that show, and it would fly. I mean, it would get hundreds of viewers every night. And people would watch it, and I guess it does go to say that if you're bringing views into YouTube and you're making the money, they'll let the rules slide. But I think they eventually demonetize him. Maybe they shut the channel down. There was something like that a few years ago, and at this point, I'd kind of stopped watching him. But I mean, it's hard for me to take a strike like they just gave me a week ago, but then see all the stuff that YouTube promotes and see all the bullying that YouTube promotes. And YouTube knows that people are bloodthirsty for that kind of content. People want to watch humility on YouTube. Or, I feel like a lot of people find YouTube more entertaining because it's less controlled entertainment. It's more random, sporadic, spontaneous, I guess I'm trying to say. And so it's like, you don't get that, you don't get the spontaneity on cable television, but you do get it here on YouTube. So, I mean, I guess I'll say this. I was a cable subscriber for a couple years, and then I canceled it. And I just found myself not watching it. Or my Cox cable box had like a voice feature, and I could say YouTube into the voice feature, and it would pull YouTube up. I just caught myself watching VC videos more than cable. And probably because it's like I was getting more real content, you know? And it's funny because that's like, we're tying into a theme here. Real content versus fake content. Happy Monday from DJ Trish. Welcome. Thank you for being here. But guys, I'm going to wrap things up. And why don't we just finish by making up one of these Top of the Pops, a retro Top of the Pops LP cover. Well, it looks like it's got some of the fonts down. But let's try to make it like as though, it would look like something that would come from Hallmark Pickwick. So the font that they use in here is called Cooper Style. So I'm going to change this up. I'm going to say create a retro, and we're going to say, I'm going to leave this just because I know if I double this prompt, it will double the logo. Create a retro LP cover, and we're going to say include a Top of the Pops logo in the upper left corner. Okay, hold on. Create a Top of the Pops logo in Cooper style font. All right, so we got that part. It's going to create a retro LP cover. It'll have a Top of the Pops logo in the Cooper style font in the upper left. But now we need to get that playlist under there, right? So let's go comma, include a playlist of 1970s hit singles. How about inside of a box? So we got our inside of a box in the lower left corner. You got to get really specific with these details sometimes. So we got our left side of the record cover. We don't know what hits it's going to give us. It could give us a Top of the Pops logo in any style of Cooper font, but we should be able to hit the nail on the head pretty good here. Now, we need a girl on our other side, on the right side of the record cover. And, I think I was typing in as like, put a beautiful girl off to the side here. But, it actually, Grok knows a few certain people. So Grok knows who Dolly Parton is. So maybe we could use Dolly Parton. Why don't we say include Dolly Parton on the right side of the LP cover dancing. So I think we got our prompts here. We're going to see what it gives us. And then from whatever it gives us, if it gives us an error, you can kind of go back and edit the prompt a little bit. But let's just see, how easy is it for Grok to regenerate a Top of the Pops LP cover? And this will be fun. Oh, well, hey, it don't look too bad. And you do got that kind of Cooper style. Oh, here we go. See, you'll get it to it might get pretty freaking close. Like that logo looks very, very close. Almost identical to what you would see. But, of course, you got Dolly Parton. It might throw a big, giant Dolly Parton, in there as well. But yeah, I think these look pretty good, pretty close. And they were fun to sort of make. But let me, you know what? We were picking on Rebecca Wilson up there. So why don't we just put, we'll see what it gives us when we say Rebecca Wilson on the right side of the LP cover dancing. So, or I could just type in, any random name. So yeah, no, it gives us, I think this looks pretty freaking close, you know? It's what I was saying was when I tried to do this like a month ago, or maybe not that long ago, but I tried to like see if I could get AI to generate, because this isn't really a hard prompt, but at first it wasn't getting it down. And now after working with these, animating these, and Grok has sort of picked up on that. Yeah, I know what a Top of the Pops logo is and what the LP cover looks like. So no, a few weeks ago I could not make this at all the way it is, and now after kind of working with it a little bit, that's kind of the thing is AI. AI is picking up on what we tell it, and kind of what I'm trying to say here is have Davey Strangename and I improved AI with all this stuff? In a weird way, yes. And I guess I want to mention this, and this is the honest to God truth, is and it is what it is. I'm gonna because I have a YouTube strike right now, I want to be careful with my language. And prawn, right? I don't know if you guys watch that kind of stuff. I may have watched some of it. I don't really consider myself to be an addict or anything, but prawn. A lot of people like watching that stuff. And if you were to go to on any of those websites at any given time, like say right now, they don't really need an algorithm on those sites. All those videos have views in the millions. You think it's, me sitting here trying to fight for my channel and the 800 subs I got, trying to fight for a 1K view video. No, there are videos on these prawn sites that are in the millions. And the funny thing, so many people have been going to these sites for years and years and years. How long's the internet been around? 3 decades. What is it? It's a funny thing. What is it that, most people do when they go to a computer? What did I just show you guys in Grok? You type in Rebecca Wilson, it gives you a beautiful woman, right? It's assuming that you want a beautiful woman. And so with prawn, right? So many people go to these sites. A lot of people come to the internet looking for something that they might be trying to fulfill a hole in their life. And then maybe that's why so many people go to these prawn sites, or they subscribe to OnlyFans models. Now, I don't subscribe to any of that shit. Maybe there is a hole, but I don't fill it with that type of stuff. But I want to say, and this is tying into Arnie Zanzibar's comment that he made that I read shortly ago. And that is Grok AI right now. Yeah, I mean, Arnie, you probably saw some of Davey's videos and think, yeah, these are kind of getting sexualized here. But in a lot of ways, the AI generator is doing that for us without us even prompting anything. So I was even going to say, I think that Grok actually makes the Top of the Pops models look a little bit more attractive than they really were. And that's a one commonality that I notice in Grok, is it heavily favors beauty, and it generates a more attractive version of than what's in reality. And it understands that being attractive is also being persuasive. And watch out, guys, because a lot of people are going to fall into traps just because they see something that looks real and isn't real, but it's influential and even manipulative. And no, there are dangers. No, this video, everything I'm saying here is very important. And I do think that there needs to be human rights laws put into place to control AI. And I don't know how that can happen, because the people controlling and creating an AI right now, it's Google, it's YouTube, it's Meta, Facebook. They want AI to control everything. And I think I've even heard people talking about the possibility of having like AI generated or AI run semi trucks. AI is being used to heavily eliminate jobs right now. Human rights are in great danger, and this isn't a joke. I mean, you already have you go into Walmart. They have hired 2 or 3 people to check out your groceries at the register. Otherwise, it's all self-serve. You are being monitored by a camera to make sure you're not going to steal anything, or to make sure that you scan something. Or this has happened before to me. It's like you scan something super fast, and the camera thinks so that you scan 2 items, and it takes the Walmart, it notifies the Walmart employee, and they got to review the footage. And I'm like, no, there's my 1 item. Camera. There was one time the camera kept fucking up. So, yeah, I mean, we're in a whole new world, guys. I mean, we're in a whole new world where Grok can make you your own Top of the Pops compilations till the end of time. But anyways, guys, I have been here for a long ass time today, 2.5 hours. That used to be easy for me, or I guess I used to have a lot to, a lot to say within a couple hour time span. I just sort of stretched it along today, and that was just me. I just wanted to throw it back in the face of the algorithm and proudly make a video that will get less than 200 views, because I said what I wanted to say. No one controls what I say. And you can bully me, but I'll always come back. And ultimately, this list that I showed you guys, oh yeah, you're talking the biggest losers in the VC with nothing to do, and they're all racked up right here. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for joining me for a Monday. The Monday show wasn't going to go live today, but anyways, I guess I do want to mention Arnie Zanzibar had a fake Arnie Zanzibar jump into the backstage. I won't read the comments, but it's clearly things Arnie would not say. So, hey, we got haters out there. It's what cool trolls are all about, Anyway, we insult you so bad that you gotta come at us personally. I don't know. Anyways, guys, have a great Monday. Whatever you decide to do, we're still here on the TV channel until YouTube pulls the plug on me for no reason.